Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2014. This is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. I'm Tasha King, and here are today's top stories. In campus news, the Department of Fine Arts presented senior music major Carrie Richards at a senior lecture recital held Monday in the Clyde H. Wells Fine Arts Center. The title of the program, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, was to give an insight on the history, preparation, and dedication to creating a jazz ensemble in a public school program. A lecture was given by Carrie Richards himself, followed by a short intermission, and then a performance featuring the Carrie Richards Jazz Ensemble. The group included several male Tarleton students and alumni, as well as a select few from Stephenville High School. The group of students has been in preparation of the show since June, and Richards was remarkably pleased with the performance put forth. Richard says his biggest inspiration from the students this semester is the youth, energy, and hard work by the students of the music department who are willing to practice on Sunday afternoons. Richard says that although Tarleton is a smaller school, people should not mistake that with the fact that the performance was easy, but that it is also a great place to get an education as well as becoming a well-rounded and in-depth musician. In regional news from the Empire-Tribune, Monday night, Dublin City Council met to discuss several agenda items, one being the appointment of Benny Knoll to act as interim police chief. Current Chief Sean Fulliger is vacating the position on October 29th. Knoll will temporarily fill his position. Fulliger is leaving his police chief position to take a new position as safety and security coordinator at Plano ISD. Mayor David Leatherwood says he has done an outstanding job and he hates to see him leave. Knoll began serving as a reserve officer in Dublin in 1978 and became a full-time police officer for the city in 1983. He has recently been serving as a school resource officer for the Dublin Independent School District. Fulliger said Knoll was a great officer and an asset to the team. And now today's Texas, national, and international and sports news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, the 21-day monitoring period has ended for many of the people that had come into contact with the first United States Ebola patient, Thomas Eric Duncan.
3 weeks after Thomas Eric Duncan first walked into a Texas hospital with signs of Ebola, fear over the deadly virus may be easing. Nearly all of Duncan's potential contacts in Dallas have been cleared from their 21-day waiting period.
There's no question today is a milestone day. It's a hurdle that we need to get over, but there are other hurdles to also jump.
2 nurses who cared for Duncan and contracted Ebola remain hospitalized. Their contacts continue to be monitored. Nina Pham is being treated at the National Institutes of Health in Maryland.
She's comfortable, she's stable, she still is a bit knocked out. When you get an infection as serious as Ebola, it is very, very draining on you.
The other nurse, Amber Vinson, remains at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta.
On behalf of all the nurses here at Texas Health Presbyterian, I want Amber and Nina to know that we are with you all, and we are praying for y'all, and we cannot wait for you to come home so we can give you a great big hug.
Nurses' unions have been critical over the lack of guidance in handling the disease. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention plan to revise protocols to focus on training, observation, and ensuring healthcare workers are more protected. Meantime, across the Atlantic, officials say the Ebola virus has been officially contained in Nigeria.
This is a spectacular success story that shows to the world that Ebola can be contained.
That country suffered 20 cases and 8 deaths. 42 days have passed since the last diagnosis. Emily Roseman, The Associated Press.
In national news from the Associated Press, Monday, federal health officials issued guidelines to promote head-to-toe protection for health officials treating Ebola patients. Organizations representing nurses and other healthcare professionals have pushed the CDC for new guidelines since 2 nurses were infected. It is unclear exactly how the nurses contracted the virus, but Dr. Tom Freuden, director of the CDC, said there was obviously a problem with the guidelines in place. The new guidelines call for firmer precautions such as full body garb and hoods that protect the workers' necks. A site manager must now supervise the putting on and removing of equipment. The CDC has also asked hospitals to establish a designated area for putting on and removing equipment. The CDC cannot require hospitals to follow guidelines, but it is the official advice when dealing with Ebola patients. In international news, the CEO of French oil giant Total has died in a plane crash while landing in Moscow, Russia.
The chief executive of one of the world's largest oil companies has died in a plane crash. Total's CEO Christophe de Margerie was in a corporate jet when it hit a snow removal machine while taking off from Moscow on Monday. The Paris-based company confirmed that de Margerie and the 3 crew members on the plane all died. Russian investigators say the snowplow driver was drunk. He was not hurt. Total's website said the company is the world's 5th largest publicly traded integrated international oil and gas company in the world. It has operations in more than 50 countries. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
In sports news, the National Hockey League suspended Los Angeles Kings defenseman Slava Voinov on Monday after an arrest of suspicion of domestic violence. The Russian native was booked and released after his arrest at a Torrance hospital on suspicion of corporal injury to a spouse. Craig Renitsky, the attorney representing Voinov, says that it's early in the proceedings and they're just asking everyone to be patient, because arrests don't always lead to convictions and charges. He also says that Voinov, who speaks limited English, is not familiar with our legal system, so he has a lot of questions. Voinov is posted at $50,000 bond. According to the Weather Channel, today will be mostly sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 56. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Tune in to Northland Cable Channel 9 on weekdays at 12:30 for each day's top stories, and Wednesdays at 1 for the week's top stories in Spanish. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news, as well as all of your entertainment and sports updates, and the live stream of Texan TV News. Today's broadcast was produced by Kevin Blake and Amy Nash. I am Tasha King. Have a wonderful day, Tarleton Texans.